Welcome, everybody, to Circle Back to You. I'm your host, Jason Wilson. Today is a special edition of Circle Back to You. I'm joined today by Derek Strokon from Canada, and his organization is Everyday Human, and my main man, Chasen Forehand from HR for You. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us, Jason.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, Derek, this is a special occasion because, both of you guys are doing something really, really phenomenal with your organizations. But tell us about Everyday Human.
Yeah. So Everyday Human, we started in January of this year. And the intention, the reason that this business exists is to raise $10 million for charity. It was the primary purpose that I set out to start and to focus on. And after that, we figured out, well, how are we going to do it? Right? This is definitely a for-purpose business first, to help other businesses add philanthropy into their business practice as a regular and intentional process. And I think if we look at, almost every conversation that we have across the board for charities who are reaching out to say, can you help me? One of the biggest objections they get is, we'll help when we can afford it. We'd really love to participate right now, but unfortunately, we just don't have the cash flow. Things are tight since COVID, all of these other things. But what we're reflecting and what we're reinforcing is that mindset of scarcity. And I think there's an incredible opportunity for us to shift the way that we think about doing business and go from focusing outwards, or focus on going outwards rather than focusing on looking inwards. Right? If we're looking at our revenue and we're afraid and we have that mindset of scarcity about our revenue, it's never going to get us, right? There's an old saying that says, if you chase the money, you'll never catch it. But if you let it catch you, it'll get you every time. And I think this really is what we've brought into Everyday Human, is to create opportunities to make philanthropy intentional for other businesses. And then it's very, logistically simple how we do it, but the intent is to have conversation with businesses to create a philanthropic, intentional piece about their business.
Yeah, bravo.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So, Chasen, tell us about HR for You.
Well, HR for You, as you know, because you're a partner, and we just created a strategic partnership with Derek and Everyday Human. But what we do is fight for equitable living wages. We believe that at the end of the day, there is a human being or a group of human beings, a board of directors, that is creating barriers that prevents people from finding equitable living wages. There's someone deciding what they pay their people. There's someone deciding when they lay off people, or whether they have a culture that is safe and secure and is engaged and is diverse. So how do we break that down? We break that down by having relationships, by having honest conversations, by shining a light on great behaviors like what Everyday Human is doing, so that we can show people that they can still pour into their people and make a profit, that there's still a great ROI of putting people first. You can be philanthropic. You can take care about people. You can still have that win-win-win where everybody wins. And the real thing with this synergy between Everyday Human and HR for You is really about that win at the end, that we're going to give back to so many people, and there's going to be so much that we can do for communities. Forget just Everyday Human and HR for You in themselves. It's what we're able to do for people outside of this. Like Derek said earlier, it's it's that growth outside and outwardly looking to make sure that communities thrive, that things change in our hometown, and then in our cities, and then in our states, and in our countries. And that's really where we want to be. That's where I created hrforyou.org to be a place of actionable change. No more rhetoric, no more talk about what we're going to do. Let's put in steps to where we can create actionable change and remove barriers. So we're thrilled. We're thrilled with partnerships like this, because this is what makes it all go around for us. This is an easy way to show business leaders how they can save money, still give back, and create a great funding opportunity and philanthropic opportunity within their own organization. And possibly, we didn't really even get into this yet, but hopefully it inspires their employees to want to do things within those groups as well. So that's the great thing, is when you have it where your employees are creating their own groups and saying, I want to get involved and we want to do this. And they're making that happen on their own. So I think there are a lot of wins, but at the end of the day, we're winning for communities. We're winning for people outside of what we do, and we're affecting more lives by having strategic partnerships like this.
So Derek, how does this
Yeah.
partnership work?
Yeah. So originally we knew we wanted to raise 10 million. When we hit 10 million, we'll bump that number up. We're not going to stop there, but we had to figure out how do we do it. And we actually went in and started investigating the payment processing, the merchant processing network that exists, and realized that honestly, there is an incredible amount of inefficiency in that market. There is an incredible amount of margin in that profit. So if you think of the largest payment processing companies, essentially what we're doing is bringing a Costco price or a big box price to the retail market. So traditionally, the logistics on this is most retail businesses are somewhere paying about a 2.9% on their merchant processing fee. We'll drop that down. In most cases, we can get it pretty close to 2.1. So the margin is really what gives us the opportunity, but the reason that we're doing it is why we actually execute at the level that we do. And what we ask is that the businesses that we help take 10% of what we save them and give that money to a charity. So they choose the charity, they make the donation, they keep the tax receipt. All they need to do is let us know how much money they're saving or how much money they're donating. And then we record that, and that's how we're going to achieve that $10 million goal. But for the retail business, they're saving money because we're creating efficiency in a market that had an extreme amount of inefficiency. So their cost is going down. We're creating that philanthropic nature. So we're achieving our goal of helping organizations make philanthropy and giving a strategic part of their business plan. And then that 10% or more, whatever it is that they decide, that money then goes to a charity so that Chason can go out and help his community. And then what we do on the back end, because there is, right, Everyday Human it is a for-profit organization. We're not a not-for-profit, but we will take then 25% of the revenue that we generate off of that, and then we'll donate that back to the charity as well. So what we're doing with Chason is that he will go out, he'll create some introductions for us to people who love his cause, who are regular donors, who are passionate about the things that he's passionate about. We help them reduce their operating expenses. It frees up money that they can give more to him. We end up giving more to him. And all we're doing is creating a more efficient market than what was currently in existence. So it's a win for the business. It's a win for the charity. It's a win for us, because then it allows us to take more time and focus on giving and really making that an intentional piece, right? It would be hypocritical of me if I wasn't taking a portion of the revenue that we make and donating that to a charity as well. So it's amazing. Like, I love the fact that I get to have this conversation and I get to meet people like you and like Chason, who are so focused on just passionately giving and helping and living a life of service. And the cool thing about that is when businesses start thinking this way and start thinking with a mind of abundance, that it brings in the end, your bottom line goes up, right? You end up bringing in more revenue. So we're going big, we're giving bigger. It's it's an incredible model. And I'm just, the experience for me to build these friendships and these relationships is huge.
Like I said, it's the win at the end. There's so many wins along the way. But our whole mission in this is to teach leaders the ROI of pouring back into their people. You can literally do part of that by having this process in place. You save yourself money, you create the ability to give back, and you also can teach your people about philanthropic nature, about giving back. You create a culture of giving. And I think that is huge. Every single time we talk about companies that are giving and that are looking for ways that they can give back to their people and to their community, always, without exception, you see success after success after success after success, because it is one of the only sustainable models. It really is. Like Derek said, the money comes into you because people see you being consistent and giving back to your community and being a culture of giving and caring. So it really is a phenomenal thing to be part of. So
Yeah, and I think the other piece is the intention has to be to give because you want to give.
Yeah.
It's not about giving because you're looking to achieve something. In the end, absolutely, there's revenue generated and there's profit that's coming into the space. And it's important that HR for You stays afloat because there are countless humans who are relying on Chason and his programs. Well, we need to generate revenue to make sure that we can continue to have that happen. But just opening up that mindset of abundance and going, I want to help you because I love you, because you're another human and you deserve to be lifted up. And it ends there. That's like full stop.
For CEOs and business owners watching this program, how can they get involved?
Yeah, so reach out to Chason. It's hr-foryou.org.
correct.
Very nice. Good thing I got that right. And then reaching me is everydayhuman.me. So we thought that was kind of better than a .com. So just www.everydayhuman.me. You can reach us right on the website there, and we'll help out. And if you have a charity that you want to support, we can do that. If you run a charity and you want some support in figuring out how that we can set up similar relationships, again, right? The world is full of abundance. So there's a lot to go around if we do this in the right way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you again for being on the show. Chason Forehand and Derek Strokon, thank you so much. Take care.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you
so much, gentlemen.